opportunity, and healing to communities of color, and especially to Black women and girls. Through fellowships, residency programs, listening tours, and more, ultimately, they hope to contribute to both the empowerment and liberation of the communities they serve. So I chose this organization because, as we just discussed in this episode, there's a massive inequality problem, and no one is treating the root cause. This organization is serving the underserved and focusing on providing programs and opportunities for these areas to strive and slowly even the playing field. And I really think we need more of these types of organizations and more coverage of them so that people know where they can go to find help and educate themselves so that we can end this terrible cycle that we've been talking about. This started from one birthday response and is a fairly new organization, but that's what community is all about. People rallying together to help each other out, to support a cause that doesn't get enough attention, yet everyone knows it needs. So big ups to Rachel Cargill and all of those who help support the Loveland Foundation. It's times like these that I really hope this message is getting to at least a couple people. So if you are one of those people who find that you need help from an organization like this, now you are equipped with the knowledge to go get that help. Every time I do an episode, I end up knowing more and more about positive news, obviously. I don't do this podcast in hopes to get famous or even wealthy. I think to date, I've made $12.67 since I started this podcast, and that's it's going on a little over 2 years. So no, I don't do it to get rich. At first, I just wanted to give people some information that showed the world isn't all bad and there are things to look forward to. And while that is still my primary goal, it's also become somewhat therapeutic for me. I watch a lot of news and I read a lot of terrible articles and things on the internet going on. And after a while, it can weigh pretty heavy and be hard to stay positive. But that's the beauty about doing this podcast. It's literally a break from the stressful everyday for me. Even if I can inform just one person that there are these outlets and that there's positive things out there that are happening, then I'm happy, and this podcast has really served its purpose. So it's not a goal thing. There's no end goal in sight for me, except for people being aware that there's positivity out there. It's more of a work in progress, a constant work in progress. So I just wanted to share that insight on where my mind is and how I feel about the podcast and all my listeners. But just to recap, we went over about our weird fact about the sun, touched on some feel-good news as per your requests, got some great stories and examples of how one person can truly make a difference. So if you think that you can't because you're just one person, remember, one person is just it's the spark. That one person, you just need to make that move, that one move, and others will fall in line if you have the what's the word I'm looking for? The strength and the volition to do it. We touched on some good coronavirus news and our PPDPT, the Loveland Foundation, working on tackling the underlying problems in our society. Pretty quick one today. Nothing too long. That's pretty much it for this episode. Make sure to check out the links in the show notes and give us some feedback on what other topics you're interested in. Thanks to Audiograph again for helping with those tools. And be sure to visit theblockisback.org to help donate for those meals and that back to school drive that we're having at the end of August. If there's anything at all you want to talk about or let me know, get in touch by emailing me at limelighthhighlight@gmail.com or at any of our social media platforms on Facebook and Instagram at Limelight Highlight, and our Twitter handle is LLHighlight. Since you're already going to be in the show notes, looking at those links and seeing what we all discussed today, leave a rating and a review. Subscribe and share the podcast if you really like to support. And we're streaming everywhere you find podcasts: Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. We're not on SoundCloud, but Apple Podcasts, everywhere that streams podcasts, and even YouTube. So, yeah. Tune in next week for more positive news, and I hope to hear from you soon. Until next time, be humble, be helpful, pay it forward, and be the best you. And remember, it ain't all bad. Thanks for listening.